amazing. I met people. I've got now a really good friend who lives in LA, who even came to visit last year before COVID happened, all the way from Irvine. So it's just really interesting how these small opportunities become so big. And I was like, I didn't expect to have such a great time in LA. And I was like, well, maybe I do want to pursue music in some way, in industry, legal maybe, or maybe production. Who knows? My options are open. And then I also did 4 weeks in Peking University in Beijing. And that was just to study Mandarin. That was to study Chinese. And we did a little bit of that in primary school here in Cherrybrook. So that was sort of the basis. Like, well, I know ni hao, han bao bao, etc., etc. I'd love to learn more because I'm so interested in China. And so we went and did that for 4 weeks and stayed in Peking University, an amazing university in a completely different area, different environment. China is something else. Learned so much and learned mostly about culture. I'd been to the US heaps of times. I've got heaps of family there, put that aside. But China, wow, that was, I learned a lot about their culture, and I think I became a lot more forgiving and accepting, and I'm all the better for it. I ended up writing a song when I came home just to release all that emotion and like, wow, I've learned a lot here. And we went in winter, so it was snowing and all that, so it was really cool.
No way. I imagine living and studying overseas like would have presented, its fair share of challenges and hurdles. So, looking back and reflecting upon those two experiences, was there any like hurdles or challenges you had to overcome on your exchange trips?
For UCLA, 6 weeks, which is a decent amount of time. You're in a dorm, and I sort of dormed with some Sydney uni people because it was like 50 of us who went. And I made these amazing friends with these blokes. But initially I was like, well, hold on, I don't know these people. What's it going to be like? So there's a little bit of anxiety. I'm going to the US by myself, not with my family. And it's sort of the unknown, great unknown. And from day one, I've made some mates from whatever, So that was one thing. The other thing was I was under 21. Gee whiz, not fun, but you find the way. You find the way in the US. Put that aside. In Peking University, obviously the language barrier was really interesting and fun. By the end of the 4 weeks, I was ordering stuff in the restaurant and it was fantastic. But in the beginning, it was a lot of pointing and it was that sort of very primitive sort of movements that you start to really connect with these people, right? And so it was a challenge, but it was also a blessing. And I started to really understand the mannerisms of these local Chinese people and it was really great.